So, somebody commented in one of my videos that I should show my load order and the mods that I use. And I think now it's a good time to do that. So, the way I think about it is the first half, for the first 50 episodes of this playthrough, were essentially completing vanilla Skyrim, right? And although I did have a few mods from the beginning, some of them, the purpose of all of them was to fix some problems with the game and to make the experience of the vanilla Skyrim better. And none of the mods I had or that I used throughout these first 50 episodes conflicted with the vanilla experience. Now that that's done and I've pretty much completed everything, now I want to, as I said before, I want to completely experience what the Skyrim experience can be with all the mods that the community has come up with throughout the different years. And I do think that the mods are one of the greatest aspects of this game, and the community that has been built upon them is great. So no completing Skyrim series would be complete without experiencing mods, and that's why I want this second half of the playthrough to be a lot more heavy on the mods. So with that being said, let's take a look at the mods I have. Managing this is not very easy because if you fuck up your load order, it can mess your whole game up. So I haven't had any major issues with it. The biggest issue I've had was the invisible walls glitch, but I'm pretty sure I fixed that by deleting the Great Cities of Skyrim mod. I think that's what was messing it up. Let's go through each one of them. The first, which I've had, I'm pretty sure since I started the playthrough, is the unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch. And this basically fixes hundreds of bugs and issues with the game. Just makes it more fluid and smooth and more fun experience. So this one I've had since the very beginning, one of the best ones. Then we have Skyrim at 60 FPS, pretty self-explanatory, although it says broken as of the Anniversary Edition update. Requires Bethesda to fix. I'm not sure if it's broken only if you have the Anniversary Edition update, or it's just broken even if you don't. And I'm also not sure if I have the Anniversary Edition update because I haven't bought the Anniversary Edition, I haven't upgraded, but when it was released my game did update, and as you've seen I've had a bunch of things in my game that are off the Anniversary Edition, so maybe I do have the update. Then we have one that I downloaded. So some of these mods I downloaded at the beginning of the playthrough, like this one. Some I downloaded 10 minutes ago, like this one. And this one is called Better Vanilla Perks. So again, pretty self-explanatory. It says, this mod makes almost every multi-stage perk tree more useful for any player character to invest in. It also fixes some of the controversial or underwhelming effects found in Skyrim's vanilla perk system. Then we have Lively Graphics Overhaul. Basically a graphics overhaul. It doesn't change the indoors, but it does change the outdoors quite a bit. I think it's noticeable at first glance. At least I noticed it. I don't know, you tell me whenever I go out. And I have better combat AI. Basically it enhances the AI for NPCs within the game. It makes the combat more challenging and more fun. Then I have this one which I just downloaded as well. It's called More Kill Moves and Decapitations. So it basically increases the amount of kill moves and finishing moves that there are in the game, and it also increases the chance for you to get them. And I downloaded this because I would consider this to be one of the most fun aspects of the game, the kill moves, and pretty sure we all want to see more of that. At least I want to. And I have Better Horses, which basically overall enhances the horses and their AI and their experience and stats and all that. Resurrection, which I just downloaded as well, which basically gives you a spell tome to resurrect NPCs in the game. And the reason why I downloaded this is because I think it's going to be very necessary with these next two mods that I also just downloaded. The first of which is the Enhanced Mighty Dragons. So there's 4 versions to this mod, and as you can see right there, this particular version is Nightmare, which is the highest difficulty version of the enhanced Mighty Dragons. These dragons are practically gods. You must stage yourself if you're downloading this. All vanilla and DLC dragons are adjusted. They've got more HP, higher defense, more abilities, and are generally meaner than any dragon you've ever fought. This mod is meant to make dragons the dangerous legendary beasts they're supposed to be. Yeah, we'll see. There's 4 versions to this mod. This one's the hardest one. And what I'm hoping is that dragons can, dragons are supposed to be the greatest foes in the game and the most difficult enemies in the game, and I'm hoping that this turns them into that. And then I also downloaded this, which is compatible with this, and it adds 72 dragons to the game. 39 are like new variants from the mod, and then the other 33 are upgraded versions of the vanilla dragons. So I should, at least in theory, be encountering more dragons, and they should be way tougher than before, so that should be more interesting. But because of this, I'm also thinking if I encounter them near cities or towns, a bunch of NPCs are going to probably die, so that's why I downloaded this. Next, wear multiple rings. Basically downloaded this because I've had this for a while. I've had this one since after episode 50. I downloaded this because, well, it's just common sense. Like, you've got 10 fingers, you should be able to wear more rings, and it also gives you greater opportunity to customize your play style and your build, and that's always great. So yeah, highly recommend this mod. It's pretty great. Then I've had Rich Merchants of Skyrim for a while. This basically gives every merchant 10,000 gold, and I basically downloaded this so I didn't have to kill and then reload, kill the merchant and then reload the game every time, multiple times, every time I went back from a quest and was going to sell stuff. Plus at this point, level 300 with the maxed out speech tree and the kinds of rewards I was getting in quests and in dungeons, I was basically able to sell 1 or 2 things that I picked up in the dungeons, and then had to kill the merchant, reload, then sell 2 other things, and do that a bunch of times, and that just took a long while. This just saves time for me. Then I have Skyrim Cheat Room. Again, I downloaded this one after the 50th episode, and this mod I would actually recommend anyone who has had substantial experience with this game to download this mod, because it's actually been one of the most enhancing mods to the experience of Skyrim, I guess, that I've come across. So of course this mod can break the game if you just go all out and just completely take advantage of everything this mod gives you. Your character is probably going to become a god, and you're not going to find any challenge in the game. But so I originally downloaded this one because if you remember, when I fought Marak, I forgot to loot him. When I went back, his body wasn't there anymore, and I wasn't able to get his stuff. And for my new channel, Aura, where I'm just basically fighting the Ebony Warrior and Karstag and all these different enemies using different builds, I wanted to do a video with a build using Marak's gear. So I downloaded this one to get Marak's gear, but I've actually found it to be extremely helpful in enhancing the experience and saving a lot of time in various different areas. Instead of me having to do the resto loop again and enchant a bunch of different armor pieces with, for example, reduced shout cooldown, I can just quickly wear like the Talos necklace, and that enables me to have no shout cooldown, which I could easily do without it, right? It just saves time, and it also allows me to then wear whatever armor essentially that I want while still having this effect, which is nice. It just gives me more options, or expands my options for to customize my build and my playstyle. So that's, I would say, if you use it correctly and just go very carefully not to overuse it, this is one of the greatest mods you can have. All right, the next one I have is Light and Dark Magic. Again, another one that I downloaded after episode 50. It basically adds a bunch of light spells and dark spells. I think I called them death spells before. And this helps because, as you know, magic, especially at this level, does not compare at all to like weapon combat, and it's super weak. And some of these spells are way stronger than the once in vanilla Skyrim. So it helps. Not a lot. It's still a lot weaker than weapon combat, but it helps, and also the spells are pretty great. And then we have Hobbiton, which is basically the mod that gives you the house that I am currently in. And basically I downloaded it because I love this house. I love how it looks and the colors and everything that's in it. And I love, well, the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings and all that. So it's just perfect for me. And then the last one I have is lore-based loading screens, which basically adds 160 plus new loading screens steeped in Tamrielic lore. This one I've also had for a while now, I think since almost the beginning of the playthrough. And that's it.